Welcome to Didila Taksalava. I'm Nelupa. I would like to start with the read aloud section today. This is the very first question that you will be given in the exam. In the PTE exam, there are 4 question types. The first question type that you will be given in the exam is speaking section. The first question type from the speaking section is read aloud. Now let's dig into the video. You will be basically given a passage and you have to read it through. So it can be couple of sentences, basically up to 3 sentences. You will be given 5 or 6 read aloud questions in the exam. Can you read it through as the way that you normally speak? No. There is a specific method that you have to read this, because what you have to read is how to be read according to the way that marks are received. The marks are basically given for content, fluency, and pronunciation. If you pronounce a word correctly, you will be given marks for pronunciation as well as for content. If you mispronounce a word, the content as well as the pronunciation marks are deducted. Therefore, this content and pronunciation are actually interrelated. When you read this passage, you have to read or pronounce the word properly. Another special thing in this exam is fluency. Fluency is that you have to speak in a smooth way. It also have to be spoken in a natural way. When we talk more about fluency, you have to speak without hesitation. You shouldn't have any kind of like or more pauses. You have to take pauses only at commas or at full stop. If the sentence is very long, then you can take a pause at the middle as your convenience. Do not try to stop too much when you speak, when you read through. Smooth flow. When we talk about smooth flow, it has to be natural and also it has to be without hesitations. Another person can see this as a speaking in a monotone. You shouldn't have a lot of intonation in your speech. What is intonation? Intonation is ups and downs. So you have to basically have a smooth flow, smooth natural form. If you speak in that way, you will be given marks for fluency also. So now you know how the marks are received. So you have to read this passage in the way that marks are received. Other thing is, if you receive these kind of special things, you have to read it properly. If you receive money like this, you can say $20. You cannot say $20. It has to be $20. Other thing is, when you receive a year, so you have to speak like 1996 in this example. If you receive this kind of contractions, you have to read as it is, like that's. If someone is speaking this as a that is, so marks are not received for pronunciation as well as for content. Therefore, try to read these things correctly. Other thing is, I have seen many people are trying now to do the one-line strategy. First of all, what is one-line strategy? One-line strategy is speaking of about 12 words continuously. So you basically select one particular sentence and just check before you read that whether there are 12 words in it. Like if there's a full stop, that's also fine, and read it through. In this situation also, you have to have the same fluency. You have to pronounce them properly. In this exam, marks for content is given basically for percentage of words that you have read correctly. In case if you make a mistake by incorrectly pronouncing a word or two, then percentage of correctly spoken words are getting reduced. Therefore, marks that should be received for content will get reduced. Therefore, it is a bit tricky. If you really want to do this, try to do more practices, and also you will not be given marks for this one-line method in the current apps that you are using for practicing. You can use this only in the exam. So before you go into the exam, if you really want to do this, I recommend you to do a Pearson mock test. In this Pearson mock test also, if you are given marks for one-line strategy, then that's totally fine. Otherwise, try to read the complete passage. For this question type, you will be given marks for reading as well as for speaking. When you mispronounce a couple of words, your marks for content, pronunciation will get reduced, and then this can directly affect for reading score also. Therefore, this question type is a bit tricky. What I recommend is, If you do not know a word or couple of words, you can skip them. You can basically skip the words that you feel that you are not confident of reading it through. Therefore, try to skip those words and read the balance. I will do a couple of examples and show you in this video how to skip the words and read it through. That is the best method I recommend rather doing the one-line strategy. Therefore, this is a bit tricky. If you're really confident, if you are confident on the Pearson mock test also, then you can do this. Another thing is I have to say is you will be given marks not only for speaking but also for reading section. I will show you how many marks that you can get for speaking as well as for reading from this question type. Out of the 20 questions that you will be given in the PTE exam, read aloud question is the fourth in the priority list. And also total of roughly you will be given 44 marks for this question. Roughly you will be given 22.2 marks for speaking section and you will be given 22.1 marks for reading section. Therefore, this question type is categorized as a super important question in the exam. Now let's do a practice and see how you can get marks for this question type. Other special thing is in this exam, for this question type, you will be given 35 seconds for preparation. You can see here 35 seconds are given for preparation, and in this preparation time, try to read at least once. And try to read at least once as per the same way that you read once the beep sound starts. Basically, you will be given 35 seconds for this preparation, and also after the preparation time, you will hear a beep sound. Then only you have to speak. If you start to speak before you hear the beep sound, then those words will not get captured for your test. Therefore, wait until you hear the beep sound. Once you hear the beep sound, you can also see the progressing bar here, and then you can start reading the passage. Other thing I have to mention is when you see that there is some word that is a bit difficult to pronounce, so don't read that word. So if you read that word, correct percentage of word that you have read will be reduced. Therefore, it can affect for pronunciation as well as for content. Therefore, if you see that one word cannot be read, if for example, if you see this collapse, if you can't pronounce this one, just keep that one. Rather doing the one-line strategy, better to skip the words that are not possible to pronounce. So I will skip couple of words and I will read this through and I will show you how to practice this one. As I have mentioned before, you will be basically given 35 seconds for preparation and then you will be given total of 40 seconds for reading. Now, first of all, let's practice this one during our preparation time. Agricultural problems due to climate change of normal weather, water depletion, and of soil have become big problems in all parts of the world. Many are now focusing on and family farming as a way to combat these issues. This is approaching to zero, then you can see that preparation time is now reducing. Once it's approached to zero, you will basically hear a beep sound. Once you hear the beep sound only, you can start speaking. If you start speaking before this beep sound, those words will not be captured. Therefore, just wait until you hear the beep sound and you will also see the progressing bar. You can see here progressing bar is displayed once you started speaking. Now, let's get started with this timing. Agricultural problems due to climate change of normal weather, water depletion, and the collapse of soil have become big problems in all parts of the world. Many are now focusing on and family farming as a way to combat these issues. Actually, I have skipped only one word here. In a real exam, if you see that a couple of words cannot be spoken, so you can basically skip those words and you can read it through. You shouldn't speak very fast and you shouldn't also speak very slow. Just try to speak in a natural way. And also try not to take lots of intonation. You shouldn't have lots of ups and downs. Try to speak in a monotone. I will do once again this one. Agricultural problems due to climate change of normal weather, water depletion, and the soil have become big problems in all parts of the world. Many are now focusing on ethics and family farming as a way to combat these issues. This is how you have to read. If you feel some words cannot be pronounced properly, it's better to skip them. Otherwise, the marks are deducted for pronunciation as well as for content. This is how you have to practice. So once you finish this question, you have to basically click this next button and then you can go to the next question. Basically, you will be given 5 or 6 questions of read alouds in this exam. I think this question type is also very clear for you. You will basically have to speak in a fluent manner. You shouldn't have lots of hesitation. If you made a mistake, try to forget it at the same time and move forward. If you think about that one, next question types also, or even further words that you are going to read in the same passage might get also wrong. Therefore, if you made a mistake, forget it and move forward. Other special thing I have to tell you is don't worry about the background noises. If you hear too many background noises, sometimes there can be 10, 15 people in the same classroom, same exam hall. Therefore, you can definitely hear lots of noises in your background. In that situation, don't worry about it because the mic that you are given is having a noise cancellation feature. So that mic will only capture the voice that you're speaking. Therefore, don't worry about that one. And other thing is, I have a special video already prepared to simulate this condition. Just open that one in your computer in a separate tab and then try to practice. Then in that way, you will be simulated to that condition, exam condition, while you practice. So in the actual exam, when you go to the real exam also, it will not be a big problem for you. Another thing is, if you speak to the mic, you shouldn't speak too loud. Basically, you have to have your pitch within the in the range of 130 hertz and 240 hertz. And you shouldn't yell at the exam. So if you yell, then automatically it will not be a natural flow. It will not be a natural speaking method. I think you learned something from the today's video also. Please don't forget to share with your friends and also make a comment. You can support me without no cost by subscribing to my channel. Until we meet from the next video, have a nice day to all of you.